Good morning, everybody, and welcome. Thank you for joining us. The explain is still loading, but that's not why we're here today. It's just part of it. So we're going to let that run in the background, and then we're going to show you what's potting in this new website. Welcome, Papino and Alternate and Uncle John there on stream, and then obviously the guys here on Discord. Alternate, I see you here, Christoph, Rab, Sasso, and Uncle John. Very welcome, guys. Hope you're going to enjoy the show with us. And if you have a pen and paper somewhere or notepad or something, you guys are welcome to make notes because I'm going to do another stream. It's been scheduled. You should see it on my channel later this afternoon for the guys more towards America, Canada, those Western Hemisphere users. And I think that will be a little bit more formal training and such. This is just an informal look just to show you guys what happened, what's it about, and give you a general idea of what's happening here. But we'll try and make this evening's one a little bit more formal and proper with a Q&A and all. And that doesn't mean you can't have a Q&A right now. I mean, as we talk about it, we all friends here, so you guys must ask your questions and do your story, whatever you need to discuss here about this website. So that will also give me a kind of direction as to where we need to go to for the second stream. So you guys are welcome to give your input, ask your questions. So let me just do the formalities. Oh my goodness, that looked weird. Just want to reload the aircraft while we are talking as well. Just waiting for the hard drive to settle. Right, seems okay. Reload. Right, so the topic of discussion and why we are all gathered here right now is the Skymatix VA website. And from the word go, I just want to thank the guys that were instrumental in setting it up. Mako, Disposable Hero and his add-ons, and also then Mac and Paul, who were largely responsible for driving the look and feel and the whole story of making it look and work the way it does right now. We have a couple of extra guys who obviously have been contributing the flight routes and all, and I've been putting a lot into this, obviously. So, guys, just thank you first of all. And here we go. This is the new look and feel, and it's been made quite a bit more fancy than it used to be. Anybody that knew the website yesterday or the day before and prior to that will tell you it's a great improvement. I'm not going to go through the whole login and registration bit. You guys are welcome to figure that out. What I will do is I'm just going to put the URL into the stream. So if there are anybody who wants to join, they can just follow on that link and become a member of ours. So what we have, starting from the top, obviously now, looking at the statistics, this is something we definitely never had before. And over here you can see we are 147 pilots at this point in time. We have 162 aircraft. 3,668 flights have been done. And that's the rest of the statistics, and that's a big one. 6,817 hours, 51 minutes flown in total by the guys in the VA. Steve Mitchell, I haven't put the 747 in yet. The whole idea with the VA from the beginning was to use the Zibo. Some of the guys have requested the Airbus A319, A320 and A321 to be added. That they've been added. We've made provision for the level up aircraft, the 600, 700, 800 and 900. They are in already. The IXEG is in already, and we've got the Jar Design A330, but we'll have to start looking at some point in time down the future, we'll add something like the 747 and so on. But the concentration is really around the Zibo. I mean, this comes from the Zibo pilots group. That's the guys, everybody here are members of the Zibo pilots group that are involved with making this thing. So that is first and foremost what it's all about. Okay. I'm just going to ramble through a couple of things. Please stop me and talk to me when you need to, guys, both Discord and on stream. First of all, this is obviously the landing page and the Skymatix Virtual Airline dashboard. If you click on the dashboard at the top, it's going to take you to your own personal dashboard, which tells you your own personal statistics. So you can see where you're at, how much virtual money you've made, your average landing rates recorded, the amount of nautical miles, hours, and flights all recorded. Your last report is given to you right here, and it's easy enough to just click on it and actually go have a look, see what you've done. And I think this is very impressive to see everything, spelled out like this. The jump seat function is available. We are not forcing you to fly from the one airport to the next airport. That's not important right now, but one day if we change our mind, this will also allow you, and you can obviously reposition yourself. So for instance, that is where I am in the Iveo tour, so I might as well just move myself there. Jump seat travel completed. You are at VHH now. We'll see if it worked. I haven't tested this function yet. It's going to be interesting. Right, so coming down, we have NOTAMs. So all the important things that you need to know is going to be displayed for you in the NOTAMs. I have the ability to delete the old ones. We also don't want to have too many old things in there, but there you go. That is the NOTAMs that is available. If you look at the actual ACARS client, you'll see the latest NOTAM is also displayed. The moment you open your ACARS, there's the live map. There you can see the guys that are currently flying, and you can actually click on somebody and you can have a look at some of the statistics regarding that. There it is in text form. These are the recently reported flights, and there we have the weather at VHHH. So there is a portion of it that's already showing me there. All right, so it tells me my last known location, and as I've changed it, the weather. And we can also just type in any other ICAO and actually go and check the weather, what's going on there. So it's a neat little dashboard, that you can jump around with. So there's the weather, there's your map. We'll click on that button a little bit later. Then we've got the inbound and outbound flights. So it's easy enough to pick up some of the flights that are already available in the system. And that's all done just from the dashboard. We haven't really gone very far into the system. Alright, so let's look at the top again, operations. This is typically where you go and find the flights, the bids, and you can make your own flight. That's a very neat new addition. And then obviously look at your PIREPs that you have filed before. The airline detail is going to show us pilots, free hangar, the airline ranks, airline awards, airline statistics again. And then we have a new thing that's called tours. I'm not going to click on it because then it's going to change the page. So I uploaded the Iveo World Tour, the IFR 2021 tour already. So what happens now is you can actually follow it. I'll show you later. You can actually follow it directly with the ACARS and the website. We have been able to do it, so it's not that big a deal, but this is now our own personalized tour, and as things go on, we can then obviously add little awards and things towards tours that we want to do. Sasso? Oh, he left. He's not here. What happened to him? Okay, he'll probably come back later. Anyway, me and Sasso, you all have heard of Pilot Sasso already. We're talking about setting up formal training and stuff, and we're going to use the tours and give you guys some assignments for for training and stuff, and then you can fly them. And what's nice about it is you can't progress to the next leg if you haven't completed the first leg. So there's a big scope of things that it's going to be under tours. Leaderboard, we'll look at that a little bit later on as well. In fact, it's not a big deal. Let's look at it now. So over here, you can actually see some of the statistics, and it's a breakdown you guys can go have a look at. Flight X, where are you? You're not up yet, or not with us. Okay. So, let's just go back to the dashboard. Oh, okay, yeah, we're done with this one. Then we can go to live map. Steve, I changed the URL. Are you on our Discord, or do you have access to the Zibo forum on the org? Because the new links have been published in both places. If you don't, I can always just copy and paste it for you, because I had to move it to Google. Alright, so here we have the live map again. As you can see, quite a few guys are currently flying in the same scenario as earlier. If you click on somebody, it actually gives you a bit of stats. Under the utilities, we've got all the documentation, the rules, policies, the quick start guide. I'm busy rewriting the quick start guides. Please, okay, if you look at it now, it's going to resemble the old website. So in the next 2 or 3 days, I don't want to rush it. I want to do a better job than a worse job. So I'm going to take a bit of time just to set up the new quick start guide. But that's where you will find it under your utilities documentation. We've got the NOTAMs that we obviously have shown you already. Steve, let's quickly have a look. You know, that link might be old, but let me finish one story at a time. Then we'll go back to that. I'll give you the new link then, because I need to update that if it is not working. See, when I create the flights from YouTube, I obviously go back in history and I just copy and paste an old stream and then change certain things, but those links obviously need some updating. Alright, under the utilities, we've also got the Zibo workshop. So we've got the install guide for PC, install guide for Mac. There's the EFB guide from batch 99, my Zibo training checklist, and also the approach notes from the training we did with the pilots. In the future, we'll probably put some video up here so you guys can see some of the relevant tutorials. And over here we've got the downloads. Over here, this is where you get the ACARs for the company. So you need the ACARs, and it unfortunately only works with Windows at this time. So the Mac and Linux guys will have to do manual PyReps, but it's not that difficult. That's where you need to start, really. There's a whole, like I said, install guide there that's old, but the principle is still the same, the information is still the same to set everything up. So FlightX, you won't be able to put the link in on the stream. The bot will block it. Hang tight, I'll give it to you guys just now. Alright, so again, there are the liveries, all the necessary stuff you're going to find under here, and then obviously the about us is just the thank you note that I asked to be put in here so you can see the guys who are driving it behind the scenes. And that's it. That's in a nutshell the beginning of everything. What I want to do is I want to just now basically create a flight and use this website and show you the capabilities of the website, and then maybe go and fly it. I think that'll be nice. So to book a flight, we're going to go to flights and we're going to look for GCTS, and we're going to fly to LPMA, and we can search for that flight. Alright, so there is the flight that we are after. Once you are on this page, you can actually do a bid on it. I'm going to add a bid, and then I can show you what that's all about as well. A bid, in essence, is really a way that you can set up your own flight roster. So you can pick a bunch of routes, add a bid, and it will then give you a summary list under my bids. You see the heading over here says my bids. And you'll see all the flights that you've selected will then be listed here, and you basically fly from top down, and in that way you can create a little roster for yourself. All right, by clicking on that button, it obviously takes us, it shows us the route. This is a one waypoint route. The sits and stars are very long. You'll see when we create it later on. There's a suggested flight level. It's not cast in stone, depending on whether you can actually change the flight level. There's also the automatic step climb that we have enabled in the SimBrief integration that will obviously pick the flight level for you if we go there. Tells us the flight time. So this is block time, basically an estimated block time, and we're using one of the real world airlines formula, so it's fairly accurate as to what it will do. Tells us the nautical mile distance. If there were any notes, special notes, and believe me, there are quite a few flights with notes, the notes will be there, and over here it tells you which aircraft will be allowed by the system to actually fly this route. All right, as mentioned, we can also go to the information, and then it gives you a little bit more. You see we end up with a departure weather, arrival weather, alternate weather, little map, and all the other nice bits of information. It also shows us the alternate over here. Again, times, those are just suggested times. You can make your time any time you want. You can again have access to the bids from here, or we can just go back to flights and then pick up the bids over there, and that's how you're going to get to your bids very quickly and easily. All right, if you want to check the airport information, that's also given there. You can pick anyone. Let's take that one and go. Alright, so well, that was a bad choice. No information available in that one. Let's go to Calgary. Let's see. There you go. So there's the weather information. There's no flights registered yet. Steve, the link is not going to show because he doesn't have permission to post a link. I will add a link for you in a few minutes. Just give me a chance. I'll share it with you just now. Right, I'm just looking for that link. Okay, try that one. See if it works. Should work. Yep, works for me. Let's go edit this link in the stream quickly. Okay, if you want the new link in the stream in the description below the video, just press Ctrl F5 to reload the page and then it will update. Okay, so let's go to bids. We want to go to the next step, right? Any questions this far? Any additions you want to add, Paul, maybe?
No, not at this stage.
Okay. Right, so the next step, look, it's up to you whether you want to use the SimBrief integration or not, but I'm going to show you how nice it is. Once you click on that little button, there's the list of the aircraft. You just have to go and find your aircraft that you want to fly with, and over there you can see the type and the registration of it. So let's just take that one for instance. And that brings us to a semi-familiar page. You guys that are used to using SimBrief, you can actually see this. So some of the information will be grayed out because it obviously comes from the VA, and there's no point in flying for the VA if you don't use the VA information. So there we go. we have the option to change the runways based on the weather, so we're going to look at that shortly. And that is the company route. It's a single waypoint route. If you see it visually, you'll understand that's just how it is. But we've also enabled a route finder, so you guys can actually go and create a route, copy and paste it from here, and you simply, you know, overwrite that one if you want to. It's up to you. Then we've got the estimated time of departure, the date of the flight, and that must be in Zulu time. That's UTC. We actually must make it look the same. If we can get that and that to be the same, that'll be cool. I'll have to make a note about that. Alright, then in terms of your flight level, that's obviously suggested by the VA, but if you want SimBrief to actually do it for you, you can just enable the step climbs. Paul, I don't know if you saw that. I had to toggle it to basically grey out that one, like I mentioned this morning. So that means once that is grayed out and your step climb is enabled, the weather influence detected by SimBrief will choose your best flight level for you. That's all. Over here again, it's all grayed out. You can't do much about it. This is system generated. I need you guys to just understand a couple of things. We did put the same information, the actual Zibo information or A320, whatever information, into the VA. But the VA calculations are not as accurate as the SimBrief ones. So typically I can already see there's a problem here. The payload in the Zibo cannot go beyond 19,600, so there's too much. And when we face a situation like this, obviously this is a basic calculation that's made based upon certain parameters that's given, but it's not as elaborate and as clever as the SimBrief one. SimBrief will cut this down to size. You'll see. Let me quickly make a screenshot here, and then we can actually address it when we've done the SimBrief thing and show you the difference. So this is what the actual VA algorithm came up with based upon certain parameters we've given it. It's not very clever, but it's trying its best, so we gonna let somebody fix that for us when we get there. Please don't split hairs about this. Please don't contact me and tell me a whole bunch of stories about it's not the same year as it is there and all. We know about it, and there are certain limitations to both sides, believe it or not. Even SimBrief has got limits that it can do. So just take it as it is, guys. Don't bargain on this. It's an estimate at the end of the day. That's what the word means. It's just a suggestion. All right, so it's going to give this data all through to SimBrief. You're going to watch it do the transaction and then bring the OFB back to us. What is very important right now also on this side is we've made a policy for the company that flights less than 2 hours, we're going to use a CI of 20, longer than 2 hours 40, and longer than 4 hours you can use the long range cruise option. Alright, so just bear that in mind. This is a short flight. I'm going to leave it at 20. Contingency and reserve fuels, these are ICAO standards. We just leave that. Step climb is enabled. We don't need ETOPS, and we really don't need all the alternate airports. We can have one. Alright, and then obviously these are, personal preferences, what you need and don't need. Now, the question comes in, especially for the new guys, which runway do we use? So it's actually very simple to determine that. I'm going to skip windy and ASXP for now. Let's talk about the METAR at the departure. If you click there, you immediately get a graphical user interface that shows you where the wind's blowing from. It actually puts in bold the recommended active runway. You can see there's 25, and then it gives you your headwind and crosswind components as well as the length of that runway. There's the actual METAR, so you can have a look at what that one is, and you can scroll down for a lot more information. All right. In terms of the QNH, this is obviously not in an American territory and doesn't fall under the FAA. There is obviously the QNH that we are going to use today, so it's 1018, but obviously That's just the way this website where the data comes from displays it. So we're going to look at 1018. Now we know that the runway 25 is for departure, so we can actually force that runway. And then we can go to the arrival, and we can see it's actually swung around now. So now I'm talking nonsense. No, it did. It was runway 23 this morning when I looked first. So now it's runway 5 that is in use in Madeira, and there isn't much issues here. It's not really that strong. 8 knots, reasonable. All right, so that's obviously the component breakdown, but that's the total wind that's there. You can, on both of these departure and arrival sides, you can get the DAF, you can look at these three. I don't think that's relevant for us really. And then the NOTAMs, I'm not sure this works. Paul, does the NOTAMs work? Yeah, because this will be real world NOTAMs anyway.
I believe it does, yes.
All right, okay. There is no results for this one, so okay, we're just going to skip that. Anyway, so now we know runway 5 is active on that side, so we can choose runway 5, and this way we're going to force SimBrief to make use of that for us. Right, and I'm going to click on generated dispatch. Alright, and there you see it's busy doing the transaction. There you go. So this is now returned the information, the relevant information for this flight from SimBrief, and if we look on the left hand side you can see the basic information. This is a fancy nice to have that was included now, so you can see a couple of names there of people, fictitious people in the crew basically. What we can then do is we've got all the normal download features, so we can actually download the PDF document, and for each and every one of these add-ons we can actually do the download. That's Explain 11, that's the one we want for the Zibo, and if I click on download it's actually downloaded. There we go. So there's the flight details, and if we go to the downloads, let me go show you quickly. There you have the download. So that file I can cut and I can go paste in the Explain 11 output FMS plans, paste. Right, so then the Zibo will pick up on it. So that's one way of doing it. Me and Paul were talking earlier this morning. You can obviously set up your browser to go directly into this download folder so that it's already going into FMS plans. The danger that comes with that is every single download that you do, even if it's an app or utility or whatever you download from the internet, it will go into this folder as well. So you might find yourself having a bunch of non-related stuff in there. So just be careful when you do things like that. Okay. Paul, you want to add something to that from experience?
No, not at this stage. There's obviously the facility to do that out of Navigraph as well.
Yes, we'll look at that just now as well. All right, okay, so that's about the download. So there's no difference whether you use, SimBrief, the website, or this website. Everything's integrated, everything works together. Over here you can see your dispatch information. Now I want to go quickly grab that print screen that we did, and then we can compare them a little bit. All right, so initially we said 170 packs and 3869 in the general cargo. That gave us 21,524. So over here you can see the packs is 100% correct. just going to leave it a little bit higher, and now I can't click because it's going to hide it. But there you can see SimBrief is more intelligent. It actually cut the cargo down. So from 3869, it's brought it down to 1962. And the reason it does that is because of the Zibo template that we programmed into SimBrief. It does not make use of the default 800 or any other aircraft template. It's our custom-made template that's gone in there that actually uses the real-world Zibo parameters, and then it will cut it down to actually make it fit, because you cannot have 21,524 kilograms at takeoff in the Zibo. It's not going to work. All right, so just bear that in mind. Even if you use the Polaris or any of these other aircraft we said that's capable of using any, there's going to be a little discrepancy between what the VA knows and thinks it knows and what the SimBrief actually knows. So just be wary of that. You just need to understand that. All right, so it gives us the block field SimBrief OFP. All right, and if you guys have followed me long enough, you'll know that what is important for us is the payload and the fuel over there, and then we check that the takeoff weight is correct and that the zero fuel weight is correct. So that will be a test that I'm going to do this morning as well, and we'll adjust it until it works. Yesterday it was fine, so I've got great confidence it will work again today. Anyway, that's your complete OFP as you guys know it. There's your flight maps with the winds and everything.
Just to interject here quickly, Nico.
Yeah.
Just to explain to everybody, we've tried to expand that if the text is a bit small. Handy tip for anybody who's using it: if you use Control and scroll, if you're using a Chrome browser, you can scroll to expand the page magnification. So if you use scroll, Nico, with Control,
I've just done it. Yeah. So you hold in the control and you scroll with your mouse. It will obviously change the zoom level of the page. All right. And to go back, you can just click on your magnifying glass and click on reset, and then it will size it back. Okay. So that is a handy tip. Thank you, Mac, for that. All right. There's the weather again. This is just the summarized weather. All right. So going back now. If you have active sky, let me see if I started my active sky. It does not look that way. So I'm just going to quickly start my active sky, guys. If you click on this button, you'll see there's nothing coming up now. So it's looking for the active sky, and it's obviously looking for the active sky web companion. And to get this to work, there are a couple of steps that we need to follow. So we need to go to flight plan, and we actually need to load the flight plan. So that is the one, and it's set 320. So we're going to refresh it, and we're going to go to briefing. All right, active sky does not agree with the other one, but there's a 4 knot difference, so it's not going to break the bank. What we can do now, I suppose we can press F5 just to reload the page. Yeah, that's all correct. What did I do wrong? Oh, sorry, I'm looking like an idiot into my own glasses. Sorry, need new glasses. There you go. There's the web companion now. All right, so it's talking to the active sky. I've put the flight plan in, and there's the actual briefing from active sky. So it's all integrated here, and obviously, if you need real world information, you can go and play with windy and check rain and thunder and water accumulation. So that's Funchal over there, and we're going to take off from there. So it's just that little bit of stretch we need to go over the water. So anyway, that's more real world related. All right, so I think that gives us a very nice tool to use. We were talking about the ISA deviation and things like that. Is it actually provided for in this website, Paul, or is it not?
You've caught me with the biscuit. No,
Sorry.
it's not. But the
Okay.
ISA deviation is just the difference between 15 degrees and the
Yeah.
temperature at your airport.
Yeah. Okay. No, that.
Or if you're really bothered and you program your FMC, then you can get the top of climb winds from Active Sky and put that.
Okay.
Get it calculated for you.
There's also another place you can get it from the OFB.
From the OFB, where?
If you go to the OFB button, Nico.
I did. I'm there.
Right. If you scroll down to the route. The information on the legs page part of it. No, not there.
There's the legs.
Yeah, if you learn your interpretation, walk down.
Yeah, I'm stationary. Don't worry. I'm waiting for you.
Right. If you go to the if you look at the interpretation, you've got your winds, and then the one to the side of it. The deviation is one of those links on the right hand side there. I'll show people later if they need to know, and I'll show Nico.
Okay, cool. All right. I presume that's that one. Presume it's that. We'll see. Okay. It's not important right now.
See where it says P6?
Yes.
I think it's that one.
Yeah,
that's your deviation.
Yeah, that's my take on it as well. All right, so for all practical intents and purposes, we are done with Navigraph now. So the next step is going to be to pre-file, and it's not the place we do it. There's the pre-filing for IVEO and the pre-filing for VATSIM, and you can even see the route in SkyVector. So I'm going to do the pre-filing for IVEO now.
While we're there, Nico, do you want to refer to Navigraph and how you log in?
We'll do that just now.
People don't get confused. Okay.
Yeah, we'll do that just now. All right, so it's populated everything for us. The only little discrepancy that I feel I want to just advise you on is the way the website is set up is it uses 4 digits for the actual identification at the end. Right, so you see there 3 zeros and a 1. We usually only use 3 digits when we speak to the ATC. So at your discretion, you can just drop one of the numbers. Just remember what it is, because you need to log into IVEO with exactly the same number. Otherwise you don't pick up your flight plan. So just be aware of that as well. I'm not going to log that one. All right. Mac was talking about Navigraph. I haven't even shown you these icons, so that's a good one. In terms of getting Navigraph working, there is a programming limitation to just jump in and get it going, and the limitation is overcome by actually clicking on Navigraph charts over here. This will open Navigraph charts for you in an additional new tab where you can then sign into Navigraph charts as usual. Once you are signed in, this button over here will come alive, as you guys can see. So if you simply click there without doing the link up first, it's not going to work. All right. Now if we go and look over here, this is obviously drawing the data now from VATSIM, so you can see VATSIM traffic and so on. And there's the IVEO WebI one as well. All right, so there's the IVEO traffic. Alright, so there is a tower there. We're not going to fly online today. We're just here to have some fun and play around with this new website. So I'm not going to bother with that. And to hide it, obviously, as you guys see, I just click on the actual button again. What is important for me, obviously, is now the weights, all of these things. So I'm going to leave that open for myself. And then we're going to go to our Zibo. Anything else, guys, before I move to the aircraft?
I don't think so. Don't want to overcomplicate things at this stage.
Okay, cool. I don't know if we said good morning. Okay, she probably said good morning when I didn't listen to her, so there's that. Right, let us look at power. No, we don't need external power. Let's get our doors open and start setting up on this side. That's all done. Right, so reading from our OFP, our payload is 19.6 and the fuel is 4.9. Okay, I'm just going to do the CG compensation thing as well. So I'm going to subtract the 500, 1476, 193. Alright, so that gives us the 19.6 in total. And the fuel we need is 4.9. There you go, and we can call the fuel truck. So all of that information came straight here from the weights. And then what we need to do is we need to obviously now check that the takeoff weight is within 100 or 200 kilograms of that, and the zero fuel weight must actually be the same. Let's start our flight leg. Alright, now I just need to go back and verify that file name. So it's GCTS LPMA 01 this time. Kind of a different format. Mac, now that I mention it, I'm going to go back to that website just now. I clean forgot to go and show this. Or did I? Did I show you? I did show you the Navigraph. Actually, I did. What did I think about just now? Oh yes, the export from Navigraph. You can do the export from there. That's what I was thinking of. Right, so we've got GCTS LPMA 01.
Can I ask a quick question before you go too far?
Yeah.
On that pre-file page,
Yeah.
what's the purpose of having that pre-file on the top right when in fact that's not the one that we use? So it must still have a purpose. Can you explain that to me?
What do you mean it doesn't have a purpose? It's exactly what we do usually. Uncle John, are you talking about this one? Give it a few seconds, you'll see it pop up now. This one. Tell me when you see it.
No, not here. In the software, there was a pre-file on the top right, and you don't use that one, you use this one, and you came halfway down the page. You said you press this one.
Yeah.
So my
Okay, Uncle John. Okay, Uncle John, the pre-file PyRep at the top, that is for the VA, to pre-file the PyRep in the VA. So it has got nothing to do with IVAO. That top one that says pre-file PyRep is just where you log your flight if you didn't run your ACARS, basically. If you do it manually, to log the flight manually, that one.
I just don't want to see confusion for people pressing that, thinking they pre-filed, and in fact they haven't.
Yeah, well, I understand what you say, but that is for the VA. This is for IVAO. This one clearly has the word IVAO and that one VATSIM. So you have to obviously go to the platform that you want. Now that's built in local. There it clearly says IVAO and VATSIM. So you guys must just, read, pay attention to it to
No,
get it.
I just thought it was worth mentioning.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I think you've educated quite a few people. And obviously, it's not just the guys watching today. The guys in the future watching the video is going to have similar questions, so it's easy enough. And then, just want to quickly go back to Navigraph and just show you guys. Obviously, because it's integrated, I can actually export the flight from here as well. I forgot to mention that earlier, and I knew it was something was bugging me. I just had to quickly think what it was. Alright, so you don't have to use the download facility from SimBrief itself. You can actually still do it from Navigraph if you're used to doing it that way. Hello Tommy, welcome. Righto, okay, so here we are back in the aircraft. Let's activate this thing and make sure we've got our departure and arrival. Okay, so going back. To our website, I need to go see if I can see that. Okay, you guys that have used this now more than me, okay, I didn't see an option on our webpage that said to use the sit in the star. That's not included, and when I look at the actual routing here on the OFP, the sit in star is not included. What was the train of thought around that, Mac and Paul? Did you ever
You
think
don't get
about
the option in SimBrief.
You do. You do.
The one thing that is still up for question at the moment, Nico, is as far as IVAO flight plans are concerned, you don't submit a star and a SID.
Okay.
It's only the route. So in Navigraph, and that's one of the functions of using Navigraph feature, is you can go and build in your star and SID.
Yeah, which I did already
Right.
do. I just did it offline.
So if you now, once you've built that in, you export that to your FMC.
It will include them.
Yeah, so you could do the download link there, and then that would have your complete
sit in star and
your
everything.
FMC. Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't want to confuse everybody, so let's do it this way. Obviously, I copied and pasted the route into Navigraph, and then I would just build it because it's second nature to me. I did this without actually thinking too much about it. So we're going to use, what's the full name of this thing? BIM B6 Foxtrot. That will be the departure of runway 25 and ECNO 1 Papa on runway 23. And what did we say? I actually think the weather changed. It's now runway 5, and that is in use. Let's go do that. That seems to be the better one for us for now, so we can actually get rid of that ICNA one. But that should, once we click there, do that, and we should be able to identify that one. ICNOT, I think. Yes, that's ICNOT. So I don't see ICNOT in here. There's ICNOT there.
Just click add route at the bottom there, maybe.
No, I don't want to add the route. I wanted to delete it. I wanted to get rid of that thing in the middle there, so we come in at an angle because we need to land from this side. It looks a bit weird, to be honest, but let's go further. On Zulu. That comes from the wrong side. It's fine. Okay, well, you can clearly see I'm not used to this way of doing things. You know, habit is a big thing to break, so I'm still not really happy with this. Big B to X. Still looks like the better one of them all. That comes from the wrong side. Why is it still wanting to use runway 23? I don't get it. We don't want to go that way. That is a better way. Alright, so now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna delete that thing. You see, and now that other way of getting in here would have been better instead of going there. Alright, let's clear this route. See, that means that we don't really have an approach coming in. Ach, a star.
Why can't you use that not one?
Because it takes you to the other side of the airport. See, we need to come in from the south on the runway 5. And if you take that one, it takes you way to the other side. It doesn't bring you here, which is also confusing because one would think that it won't show you something for the other side of the runway, the airport, when you actually specify the runway. So technically that will just be a direct to, or it will be vectors that you need to fly. I don't see another way unless you can tell me another way. Because this is not helping.
To look at it now.
No, this is not helping. I don't see another one. I'm just going to rest with this. Alright, so we need to remember BIMB6 Foxtrot and then runway 5 with a Monic transition. I'm going to put that on my other screen. So, set to taking off runway 25 and we're going to use BIM6F. It's that one. Execute. Then we set on nav Y, Y with a Monic. This one doesn't even have it. Alright, well, it's obviously on that side because I'm not looking. There you go. So let's go have a look. Daniel, it's not wrong. What you're saying is not wrong. The difference between me doing it at this airport and any other airport is if you choose finals, you're literally going to go to the runway. It's a very short little piece of route it gives you, whereas if I use the Monic transition, at least the line is a little bit extended, so it picks it up a little bit earlier. Let me show you what I mean. So it's definitely not wrong. You don't have to worry about that. So you see that purple line is longish because it goes to Monic. If I change that to just go to finals, that line becomes very short all of a sudden. So change, man. Alright, so you see there's Monic and there is the finals. So it literally drops that whole section, which is why I went for the actual Monic, because then it actually extends it, that little extra bit from there to there. So that's the reason. And this is part of flight planning and learning how to do flight planning, to look out for little things like that, because if you miss it, you miss it, you know, and it's not going to kill you, but it was one of those things. Right, so let's hide that, get that out of the way. Let's go have a look, see what it looks like in the aircraft. Alright, so that's our takeoff. We're going to follow that line, and there was the break from BIMBO to Monic. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to link the two up. Alright, there you go. So now we have a proper flight route. So that is BIMBO over there, and then we just go straight to Monic to do that transition. Well, that solves the problem. So sometimes it takes a bit of thinking and and ah and all those things, but eventually we work through them. There you go. Alright, so that I'm happy with that. Alright, so again, looking at the website, where is this thing? Dispatch information, weather. So over here we can see our QNH is now 1019. So we can quickly set it up. Like those things, they can come off. Okay, so happiness is. Let's continue. If we look at the OFP and we go back down to the weights, you can see zero fuel weight 62.7, and there you have 62.7. Fuel is 4.9, and the takeoff is 67.5 versus 67.6, and we all know by now that extra 100 kilogram is the taxi fuel. So it's completely in balance, guys, because we do use the actual Zibo template and not just the generic stuff there on SimBrief. So that at least works. Now I've clicked on the wrong place. I need to go fetch my reserves. So I want to quickly go back to the dispatch information. There we go, total reserves. I'll make it 1.8. If we go look at the display, the OFP. Sorry, I'm going too far. It's 1128 plus the 661, so that will give us, I'll just make it 1.8. Right, cost index will be 20. And if we look at the actual OFP, there we go. You see we are scheduled for flight level 320. Right, I'm going to try remember this one. Then we've got 300 at 44 and a positive 6. Mac, you were right. That value there is the positive 6. That is your ISA deviation.
Trim up.
Alright, so then we also need the runway headings. So let's go to our airport. The runway heading is 254. And that means we are basically set up. So what did I learn this morning? I learned that all the information is available. You just need to know where to look for them. I mean, everything's there. And depending on the level that you want to simulate to, you can definitely find what you need. Okay. Right, overhead, let's do this. Right, let us get the seat belts on. Start the APU. Right, our landing elevation. Guys, just quickly, while it's in my mind, just remember you don't get Navigraph for free. This is a payware add-on, so you do need a Navigraph subscription to actually use this. Don't be under an illusion that we're going to give it to you. It's not how it works. Any payware add-on that's integrated obviously needs a separate subscription or payment or something, so please just bear that in mind. Right, airport elevation 191. So we're going to go for 200. Gents on Discord, you're very quiet.
Sorry, just working with the honeycomb.
Okay. Right. Okay, then we need to do the beta pushback.
Ground to Cockpit, please show me where you want to go.
Where does that line go to? There, somewhere there. Okay, I'm literally guessing because it's very faint, so
Ground
I'll
to
make the
Cockpit,
best of it.
Tau is driving up.
Right, beacon light, let's close the doors. And send the other guys on their merry way. Drive away, or I don't think I actually made a map for us yet. I'm not going to bother with that.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Daniel, that is your personal choice. Some people use average winds, some people use the top of climb winds. Sasso says it's logical, if it asks for top of climb wind, you need to use the top of climb wind. I'm not going to say it's right or wrong, it's absolutely up to you which one you want to use. When I speak to Sasso and Alex, for instance, they have, you know, their way of doing things, and I think it's more related to an airline SOP than anything, because number one, those winds, by the time they get it on the OFB, is old. It's just a guide, it's not cast in stone, so it's a guide. One of the things Alex told me is he usually gets his zero fuel weight value very late, you know, compared to when Sasso gets it. So what he does, I'm talking about Alex, is he actually, while he's waiting for the fuel to be put in the aircraft and so on, he actually goes into the legs page and the route data, and he actually starts filling in all of this information. Now, if you do something like that, you see, that is the only one about that is at the top. It's easy enough to look at what your top of climb winds is if you just find it, so you can either get it over here, that is the actual top of climb wind, or we can go back to our OFB. Let's compare them quickly. Let's see what the two actually say at the same time. So it's 298 at 44 on that one, and if we go down, that one is 303 at 41. The difference is the SimBrief weather now was observed, come back down, it was observed on the 9th of the month at midnight Zulu time. Okay, 00. So now at this time it's 10:56 Zulu. So it's 10.5 hours since the actual observation was made when that was true. Whereas this is the actual weather engine of my simulator, and it tells me that is the top of climb winds. So if we start splitting hairs, we're going to sit here the whole day telling, you know, this is logical and making the other guy feel bad. I don't think it's going to make a big difference. It's not that much of a difference at all. See, it's 303 at 41 versus 298 at 44. I mean, that's as close as you can get to it actually being equal. So I personally just use, to make it easier, I use the average winds simply because it's published at the top right hand corner of the OFB. So then I don't have to go scroll down and look for it. And that's the only reason I do it. All right, before start procedure.
Before start procedure.
All right, so for the VA guys, I'm going to quickly do the connection here to show you quickly in the ACARS. That is the flight,
Before start
and I
procedure
get it by
completed.
clicking on my bits, because that obviously is how I put it into the system. So you can load it from there, or you can type the departure and arrival and do the flight search, and then it will bring it up for you again. So I'm going to load that into the system. There you see it's there. It also now shows me the aircraft, shows me what it perceives. Now, if you are the kind of guy that's got the OCD that it all needs to be correct, for your convenience, you can go and change the general cargo. And like I said earlier, we can find it on the dispatch information page, because it was cut down to size by SimBrief, because it knows better. So it's 1962. If you really want to do it, you can change it. Okay, and then we just click on. Sorry, before we do that, if you look at the current map, where is it? It's actually not even showing it to us. So if I go there and I click on start now, what it's going to do is it's going to draw a straight yellow line between Funchal and Santa Cruz over there somewhere. We down more to the bottom. Okay, if you want to see the actual curvature in your flights, then what you need to do is you need to load the flight plan. All right, this is obviously from SimBrief. It's not as detailed as if I did it from Navigraph. So obviously we've loaded it. It's going to do a similar thing. Not very helpful, but once we've started it there, at least you do see a little bit. It's not just a straight line. It's got a bend in it at least. All right, so once you have clicked on start the flight, you'll see your own aircraft, and you will obviously see the route over there. You can switch on follow flight, and it will actually track the aircraft, or you can switch it off and leave it something like that. You can obviously also zoom out, and you could see who's flying where, just by hovering over them. And this is the only place where you can see that. Due to the privacy stuffs on the web, it doesn't get published on the web. So okay, I'm going to move that out of the way and stop sharing that screen. You're welcome, Daniel. I like conversations like that, because then we can debate it a little bit, and we can hear other people's opinions and things like that too. Okay, I'm basically done, I think. Let's have a look, see outside that we closed all the doors and everybody's happy. All the doors are closed here at the overhead as well. So let's go.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Start number 2 engine.
Starting number 2 engine.
Thank you, Linda.
N2. Starter cutout.
Start number 1 engine.
Starting number 1 engine.
I'm just thinking out loud. I'm just putting it out there. This is the first time that I actually do a flight using this website, guys. So if I sound a little bit unsure, it's because I am unsure. Okay, so don't take it the wrong way. I literally have to find my feet with this thing. I haven't tried using it in an actual flight before. So I just want to put that out there. I obviously know the piloting side of things and where to or what is needed, you know, but everything is now kind of in the wrong place for me. It's like being home but not really home, you know.
Starter cut
I was
out.
the same until I did 3 flights yesterday.
Engine start procedure
It comes quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. Tommy, yes you can. Just remember that YouTube does take some time to render everything. Okay, so the best time to watch a video in its full length is...
Bypass pin has been removed. Handling nonetheless. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Sorry, I don't want to talk over that guy. Okay. The best time to watch a video from start to finish is when the actual chat is visible on the right hand side. Until the chat appears on the right hand side, they're still rendering. So that can take anywhere from 3 hours to 5 hours to a full day. I've waited a day or more sometimes for it to go. So that's just a tip, okay? But definitely it will be here. I'm not going to remove it. I think tonight's flight, I'm literally going to repeat everything that I do this morning. And then I won't be as confused or, you know, off my feet. So whichever way you want to do it, it's up to you, but the videos will be here, Tommy. Enjoy the rest of your day, by the way. Right, so we got everything there. Let's finish the setup. Switch them off and back on, and probes go on. That's on. Let's get these guys off. 1, 2, and 3 on the flaps. That will give us flaps 5. Alright, controller checks fine. Alright, okay. I think that's it. Taxi lights on. Let's go.
Set.
Looks like a little bit of an uphill we have to climb here, eh? It's not flat.
Taxi lights on.
Okay, one of the things I did not do is put the Navigraph chart on my screen, so now I'm kind of confused where to go, so just bear with me, guys. Need to go back to Navigraph and get this on the screen. And that looks like a link here in front of us. before takeoff procedure.
Before takeoff procedure.
I just realized I don't see clouds, so I just forced that weather reload.
Before takeoff procedure completed.
Yeah, look at this downhill over here.
Approaching 2-5. On runway 25.
Oh, that looks pretty. Wow.
Stabilized.
Toga, let's go.
Takeoff thrust set. $80 knots. Throttle hold. V1. Rotate. Approaching transition. Positive rate.
Gear up.
Gear up.
And command A. That's it, we're on our way.
Runway turn off, lights off.
Right, so that's us. It's tracking us. We're on our way. In actual fact, yeah, it just saw it move. It's a bit slow, but it's there. I actually went on Google Earth to actually go and find these things, and it looks very much similar in the real world. I just have no idea what this is. Mac, Paul,
Flaps
anybody?
up
Uncle John?
and
I don't know.
set.
Do you know what this is?
They'll be greenhouses, I think. Usually big polytunnel type things, I think.
Wow. Okay.
Southern Spain's covered in them as well.
Okay. Interesting. Well, okay, so the website
Approaching
literally has
transition.
replaced SimToolkit Pro for us for all intents and purposes, eh? What's your feeling about that?
Transition
Well, it's all there,
altitude.
isn't it?
I was gonna say everything's there. You don't need SimToolkit Pro anymore.
My biggest problem with SimToolkit Pro is I love it.
Yeah, it's damn good.
I did use it for a long time.
I don't know if I'm ready to give it up. That's my only thing. Oh, that's going to be a personal battle I need to fight in my mind.
Are we gonna have to hold an intervention?
No, I think I'll manage. At this point in time, I think I'll split my usage, you know. 1 here, 1 there, maybe. I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think long and hard about that one. Where's Uncle John? Uncle John, are you still on stream? Can you hear us? Because I see you muted yourself here in Discord. Did he say anything to any of you that he's leaving?
Not that I heard.
No, I don't think so.
Yes,
Yeah,
I am still here. What I'm doing is I was listening to the stream.
Okay.
For both. How you get the overlap.
Yes, of course, of course. Uncle John, the reason I called you back here is I just want your preliminary feeling. I don't know if you've done a flight through the website, if you've actually used it like I showed here, or where you stand with it. I just want to hear your take on it. Basically, preliminary thing. It's not going to define you for the rest of your life. I just want to hear your feeling about it.
Well, no, like you, Nick. I mean, that's your first attempt at it. I mean, I've played with it, but not in its full entirety. My intention later today is to do a flight using the new software, and I'll probably answer you better then. But from what I see, it's back to the Swiss Army knife again. You know, the software seems to have a little bit more, well, a lot more than SimToolkit Pro. So I'm extremely optimistic about it.
Great stuff. Okay, all right. Well, we don't have to talk about it on a stream. You can just give me feedback, you know, in a day or two. But I'd love to obviously hear your feedback.
Divine.
Well, after this flight, I intend to do a flight, and I shall use it then.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I plan to use it if I can ever get my honeycomb Bravo throttles to work correctly.
Guys on stream, you're extremely quiet. What is your feeling about this? I think if I adjust my flow a little bit, you know, just work on a better flow of things, it's going to be much easier just to stick to the website. You know, in that regard, I can see the potential. I can see it all working together. I mean, I literally don't have some Toolkit Pro running, and I did everything I needed to do. So I'm very optimistic, you know. And the more I think about it, the more it sinks in, the more excited I actually get, because wow, it's not just the aesthetics that's wow, it's literally the whole operation. Everything is just there. It's just amazing.
I was very excited yesterday because when I suddenly twigged that you can click the Navigraph button and it drops down and pops up, you can go between your OFP and Navigraph instantly.
Yeah, yeah.
And just browse rather than moving your cursor and clicking a new
App, yeah.
tab or whatever you have to do.
It's
So
all
that's
there.
very helpful.
Oh, very, very, very.
Yeah, one or two tricks about reorganising how you download things, like moving stuff into the FMC. I pointed out a technique of downloading to the
Output folder, yeah.
If you have your default setting in your browser so that it always asks you where you want to download to, I'll explain it offline, Nico, and you can perhaps talk about it in the next stream, so that we don't experiment too much here today. But there are things that you can do that make the flow even easier for you in this new A-class or new VA software.
Gotcha.
I think it's like any new software, especially this one in particular, because I think you've only edged on the top part of it. There's loads underneath that we haven't even looked at that's available.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were to pull up once you get departed, Nico, and you want, if you go back to the BA website, so
yeah, I'm there, Mac.
if you go to the live map view and you click on your plane, down to the bottom, the map page there. Now click on tick 671 at the bottom of the map there.
I did. Just wait for it. It's coming.
No, on that text where it says it in blue at the bottom of the map.
Oh, on the blue. Ah, okay, yeah, look at that. So it's tracking me live with a little bit more information. Okay, this is nice. Oh, this is really nice.
And if you look above where it says route map, then you've got the A-cars log and the pirate.
I see. So you can actually click on that. Huh.
My point, Nico, if we're running at the top, there's so much underneath that needs exploring, and the more you use it, the more conversant you're going to be with it.
Absolutely.
The more comfortable you're going to be.
Oh, this is freaking amazing. Very nice.
Well, I just learned something new. That's awesome.
Yeah. This is really, really nice.
As I say, it's just hidden features of the depths of where it's got to. I mean, got to put my hands together and hold, you know, what Mako has achieved here is
that's freaking amazing.
like that now. Yeah. compared with the VA website we had yesterday, for example.
No, this is like top notch, top of the range. That's really cool.
And just to appreciate the efforts that went into it yesterday, we started at 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon, or 12 o'clock Zulu. Was it 12 o'clock Zulu?
Yes, about half past. Yeah.
And we were still trying to sort out 1 or 2 little niggles, and it was 9 o'clock last night before we eventually got it all
working,
running as you see it today.
David Maynard, yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I think it's a question, Mac, now of me just getting used to it now, working out my own flow, you know, knowing when to click where, what to do, all these things just to make it easier. Because my rhythm was a bit upset, so it took a little while longer to just find everything and so on. But the guys will see as we progress how much easier it gets and all these things. Okay, this is really nice. Now I appreciate what you guys did here, really much.
Well, the guys appreciate it because we're fortunate because we know how much work and effort, time has been phenomenal. These guys have spent on this, and as Mac just said, what was it, 10, 11 hours just to iron out the last few niggles. So you can imagine how much time went before that to actually put it all in there.
Well, this has taken 2 or 3 months to get here. It wasn't the overnight thing. This has been in the planning and in the works for a long time. And I love it. Oh yes, now while we're busy flying, let me show you guys the tours. You can obviously go and explore these things. The inaugural tour I haven't worked on, just haven't had time. Okay, but the IVEO IFR World Tour 2021 is in there, and how it works is there you can see the layout. And if you guys remember earlier in the stream, I did a jump seat to VHHH. Look, it shows I'm currently located according to the database in the VA. That is where I'm at. Obviously, when I land now in Funchal, that one, sorry, it's going to be in between there where the hand is. That's going to be where I'm at. Okay, so I'll just take a jump seat back there for the next time that we do the next leg in the IVEO World Tour. But we've literally, if you click on the word there, sorry, I'm lying, it's on the legs. There's the legs and there's the map. So you see, we've got exactly what IVEO has set up completely. And in our touring system, you start from the top, you click on the button, all right, and now you can add your bid and you can, you know, run from here. And you can't progress to the next step unless the first leg has been completed. So it's one way of, I said earlier as well, of setting up the training flight. So this facility is going to, you know, cause you to start at the top, fly through each leg to achieve the goal, whatever we're going to set as a goal at the bottom. And for the guys that have done the world tour, unfortunately, you're either going to have to fly it over or you're going to have to put in a manual PIREP, which I think is something that I'll do during the week when I've got time. I'll just put in manual PIREPs to actually catch up to where we are at now. I think we are there. We're at VHHH. So we're almost done with it according to IVEO, but according to this website, I'll have to do manual PIREPs for the rest to get here so that I can continue with the tour and keep it, you know, as part of the VA as well. Yeah, that's still, you know, something for the future.
Something we'll have to discuss outside, Nico. There's 1 or 2 things that may be you'll have to rethink that. But
is it okay? Well, tell me now.
Right.
I mean, we're talking about it.
No,
tell me.
I've got to talk with Mako, see if there's a way we can update it.
Okay, cool. All right.
It may be that you'll have to go into the database.
Okay, to add.
I'll talk outside. Yeah.
Okay.
Right, now then, if you go back to the tour thing again, for example,
Yeah, I'm there.
Click on the IVA World Tour.
Yeah.
Just another little feature for people to look at.
Uh-huh.
Wait for you to get there. Your stream's a bit behind what I'm seeing at the moment.
Okay.
Right, if you look on the tour map, now we know it's a bit fine detail at the moment, but if you put your mouse over your next leg route, remember it highlights it up. If you can try and focus in on the
I've got it.
next leg.
I've clicked on it, and there it gives you your leg, and then I can click on that. So it takes me to that leg.
Yeah.
And I can then. Yeah, I did.
Click on that.
I did. I'll wait for you.
There you go. You've got your bids page and everything there for.
Yeah, bids, dispatch. Yeah, all the information you need.
Just so that there's a lot of little shortcut links. If you look around, people, there's an awful lot of different ways from getting from A to B around the website.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is impressive. This is awesome.
Did you explain also what that the idea about we may be setting up a training route to?
Well, I did talk about it, just mentioning it. Obviously, that one is out. What we want to do, and I did mention this like 10 minutes ago, maybe less. We'll set up the training tours here as well. You know, so we're going to set certain goals for the guys to reach certain level of proficiency, and it's basically going to work on the same principle. When you go into the tour, it will obviously be called something like training, whatever. You know, then you start at the top, and by the time you get to the bottom, you would have learned and achieved a few things. You know, so this will kind of be like the check ride. We give you all the instruction, the tuition and everything between me and Sasso and Alex and Jan and whoever else the real pilots are that want to get involved here. And then we say, okay, now, you know, you want to do a NDB VOR approach, there's one for you, go fly it. You know, it will be, let's say, lesson number 3. So for you to progress further, you need to go and complete that flight and then, you know, fly the NDB approach, for instance.
Right, could you, next thing I was going to suggest you look at is if you go to airline detail and go to, hang on, which one? Airline ranks.
Okay.
So people can see that there is now progression. We've added a couple of extra pilot elements.
Yeah, in terms of ranks.
Yeah. And you can see that as you progress, you do 25 hours to go from a new pilot to a second officer. Obviously, you've got to do a few hours to get to first officer, but notice that your pay goes up as you achieve each grade, and if you then go to your pilot's dashboard, you can see how much you've earned.
Exactly.
Now, what you've earned is purely your hours. It's not how much the aircraft has earned. Remember, the aircraft.
Yes.
That the money for the passengers you carry and the cargo you carry
goes to the
airline.
Yeah.
But that is your personal wages that you get in your pocket, as such. Unfortunately, it's fictitious dollars. Nico isn't a multi-millionaire. I'm afraid you cannot
claim the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, Daniel, there's the link.
And obviously, if you go to the leaderboard, there's some pilots, because of being in other VAs and bringing information across, but you'll notice at the very bottom that we're trying to run 2 of the things, top pilots of the month. So although you may never achieve getting into the top pilots by flight time, distance, etc., or flights, I know John will make every endeavour to get there. But at least you can perhaps on a monthly basis
Be
get
on
to
the
the
leader.
top of a list.
Yeah,
So
be the
there are,
leader.
we've tried to include some incentives for people to achieve things within this VA.
Yeah. We will iron out the awards as well. These are literally just stuff we put in there to have something, but we'll work on little awards. We did also speak about maybe having a user contest, you know, for designing these things for different tours and different reasons and different achievements, but it's all, you know, stuff that needs to come in the future. But there are already a couple of cups and a laurel wreath that you can, you know, write
There was
behind your name.
Where was the? Was there one missing, Nika?
Which one?
The world tour.
Yeah, no.
World
Remember
tour.
that which you are thinking of is in the test site. This is now the live site. So
there's another one that we're going to people who've achieved the world tours, for example. Obviously, it's still, but we may be running a competition, people, to rather than us come up with what should the award look like, or the badge, or whatever you want to call it. We're thinking within the BA of running a little competition for people to submit what the award sign should look like.
Yeah, exactly. And then this page, guys, this is the hangar. This is where you see the stats on the aircraft. So you can see 737-300. That's the IXEG that's loaded there. How much time and whatever has been allocated to it. You can see some of these aircraft have never flown. There's no stats. It's still active. And then oh, let me just get the dogs away. There we go. The ones that are in storage are obviously there once the VA grows. Sorry, give me a second. I'm just going to mute. Mommy's home, you see now. They're overexcited. So anyway, once there is a setting in the VA that's not active right now, and there's also a little bit of development that still needs to happen. What currently is allowed is you, me, and the next guy can fly the exact same aircraft. And if we go to, there's one specific one that everybody wants to fly, which is this one. You see there, look at the amount of hours that is on here on this particular one. It currently allows more than one person to fly the same aircraft registration at the same time. We need to block that. Once that is in place, you literally need to then find one that is somewhere and it's not stored, it's available. And to overcome that, obviously, we're going to take it out of storage and we're going to make more of them available to the users. But at this point in time, we're not measuring it. It's just, it's nice to have, you know, and then we'll sort out those niggly things later on. So
luckily, at the moment, these airlines don't have to make a profit.
Yeah.
So we haven't included maintenance costs on aircraft.
Yeah, that's all stuff for the future.
The VA, as I believe it was Nico's intentions, so that it was user friendly for everybody to be able to use without getting overcomplicated.
Yeah.
There is one limitation that everybody should be aware of, and that is that the system is set up so that if you are logged or registered as a pilot on the VA, if you don't do a flight in 90 days, it was 90 days?
Yes, it's 90 days.
Then you will find that your name will disappear off the pilot's list because you will be placed on leave.
Yes.
Now, our understanding at the moment as how it works is If you log in and do a flight, once you submit your PIREP and complete it and it's accepted, you'll become active again.
And it's automatic. Yes.
Yes. So if you sign in and you find that you're not on the pilot's list, bear with us that there's database costs and all the rest of it. We're trying to encourage people, but 90 days I think is more than adequate to do one flight, please.
Exactly. I personally come from a background of flying for various aircraft that force you to do one flight every 30 days, and trust me, at some point in time I got frustrated with it. But having it set to 90 days and then having it automatically reinstate you, so it's not as if you get blocked in any form or fashion. It's just you don't be on the active pilot roster. It just makes sense, you know. So there's a bit of an incentive, but it's also would be why you're not being chased away, which I think a lot of the VAs out there make the mistake of doing. They literally force you and then, you know, subtly actually just chase you away with their attitude, you know, and I don't want to have that. This VA needs to be fun. It needs to be something that you want to do, not something that you're forced to do. And also in that light, I want to show you guys this. We are actively still on an almost daily basis adding routes to this VA. And one of the things that we also allow is you can actually use this sheet. The link is in our Discord, in the user flight request room. You can actually come and add routes in here. There are certain criteria that it needs to meet. All the rules and everything is here, and it has to be Zibo compatible. If we can't fly the Zibo there, I don't want to fly from point A to point B and land on a dirt strip because it was made for a little World War II biplane. You know, it has to be a Class C or a Class D aircraft flight route that gets put in here. But you can literally come and add it. I don't know who did this, but thank you very much for it. I then take it from here and I go and I put it into the main database, and the flights will become alive every few days. We do an update. So that's also part of what we want in the VA is, if you have a favorite flight, if there's a flight that you can't find in the VA, you can always add it. And the reason we do it this way is this is to add it permanently and to share it with everybody in the VA. If you want to fly a route that's not in the VA and you don't want to share it because of whatever reason, it's maybe a once off or it's not a very popular route for the rest of society, I don't know, whatever the thing is, you can use the free flight dispatch facility, and you can actually come in here, give it a flight number, the origin, the destination, pick your aircraft, and you can proceed to the flight planning. And this is typically for that once off thing. Let's say there's an event, you want to fly on Vatsum and not Iveo, and they're flying between Vienna and Heathrow, you know, and let's say for instance there isn't a flight there, you just come and make it here quickly and it gets on your you know, record, and there you go. So there are obviously a couple of things you need to read through. I'm not going to read it for you, but you know, you can go through there.
Forgotten that you're not, are you anywhere near your top of descent yet, Nathan?
I don't know, Mac. Let's see. Yeah, I can see it. Let's quickly go. Operations, flights, current bids, SimBrief flight plan, Navigraph. Thank you, Mac. Okay, we need.
If you add a flight, please just put the departure and the arrival, nothing else. That's all you need to put on there.
Yeah, on this one, Uncle John, thank you for mentioning that. So all we need is there's the departure, there's the arrival. You don't have to do anything else. If there's a specific alternate, you see if you scroll properly it says alternate airport. If there's a specific one you want, you can add that as well, but don't put anything else. We'll do the flights. I think that's better, especially in Europe now where this free route altitude and things that have come in now, all our flights that we started to add in the last 2 weeks are actually Eurocontrol verified, so that we don't pick up issues with IVAO. We did have guys who picked up issues because the flights were not valid. So yeah, thank you, Uncle John. That means a lot. So all we need from you guys is this, those first 3 things maybe, or the first 2 if you don't have that one. That's the bare minimum. So you can suggest your flights, we'll add them. Right, so I need to quickly set up 2000 is my descent. So I'm not going to go through the whole motion of setting everything up as I usually do, because we spent a lot of time on this one now. So that's 2000. Approach course is 49. Yeah, that was fast.
Well, while you're doing this, Nico,
Yeah.
just to make the point that none of this has been set up for commercial gain.
Yeah.
But there is probably hundreds of hours now being put into this VA. But Nico has had to put up front fees for the putting this on a server and bandwidth costs and things like this to host the VA. And I don't personally feel that he should be out of pocket to provide this facility to us. Now, Nico can give you a rough idea. I believe it's about $10 a month it's costing him at the moment, is it, Nico?
Yeah, exactly.
So, gentlemen, if you have it within you, those that want to partake in the VA, if occasionally you could drop a small subscription or donation just to help cover the costs.
Yeah, guys, it's not a necessity. You don't have to shun away from it because you think you need to pay to be part. That's not it. This is all voluntary. I carry the costs for you guys, for your enjoyment. And what Mac is saying is just, if you feel led, so be it. If you don't, I will never ever hold it against you. You know, don't let that be a stumbling block. This is not a money-making racket. This is here for your enjoyment. If you find that you enjoy it and if you want to contribute, you're welcome. It's all voluntary.
And I would like to say also that you'll notice there's an about sheet at the end, and I know that they've made mention of Paul B and myself. Yes, we put a lot of hours in, but I must also say I've had a lot of fun and I've thoroughly enjoyed integrating and working through this with Paul. It's been an absolute joy.
Yeah. Yeah, even for me, it's been fun. As much as it was hard work, we won't do it if we don't enjoy it, guys. We really, really enjoy doing this.
I think Paul's gone to sleep or he's blushing, I don't know which.
Right, okay, so as a matter of interest, I see we've got an option we can fly RNP 0.2 or 1. I'm going to go for 0.1. Make it a nice big.
Have you always wanted to be a pilot?
Last time I flew in there, that's what I flew.
Yeah, so Papino, give me a second. Let's do this. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. I think that's what that sound was. Let's quickly have a look. See, we need to go to page 4. Alright, I'm not going to do it now. Once we start the descent, we're going to switch that over from 3 to 1 to make it more precision. You know what, Bapino, I think I need to speak to Mac first, because he said I might change my mind over what I said. But let's do that, and then you can maybe join us on Discord or something, and we can have a chat about it. Because what I said is I'm probably going to have to do manual PyReps to log the flights for the IVEO tour to get up to date, and then from there on it will run further. But Mac has got a different idea, and he wants to speak to Mako and then me, and I think it's going to be easier once we have facts to talk about it, because that what I've said is literally one of the options. You know, you can make manual PyReps to get up to date, but if there's a better way, it will be nice to know.
Well, there's a disadvantage in what you're saying.
I know. I'm aware of it, but it is the only plan I currently have because of the lack of knowledge. You see,
Yeah.
So that's why I'm deferring back to you guys. Let's talk together and decide how we're going to do it. Because I mean, Roel, to name another guy, Christer, for instance, Uncle John, Kevin. I mean, everybody's completed that tour, you know, and it would be nice to give them recognition without screwing something up, in layman's terms, you know. So we'll have to talk about it, and then we decide how we're going to handle that portion of it. We've got a week to figure it out. You know what I miss? I'm just thinking out loud now. You know what I'm missing is live weather at the destination. Let us see. Because if we look at the website now, if we go to weather, okay, that is the history and the TAF. Can we go to that other page to check the weather? Let's go to flights.
Metro arrival.
Where do you see that?
Underneath the map. Underneath. Go down. Go down.
Yeah.
Oh. Underneath. Where you were, Nico, go back.
Yeah, I'm there.
Go to the weather. Where the OFP bit is, there, right hand side. Weather matter.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah. Sorry, Mac. Took me a second. You see, still learning. Right, so here we have it. We now have the QNH 1017, which is what I was looking for. So now we can quickly go and put that up. 1017.
See your time there. What was the last time that was updated? 1100 Zulu was 1220, so it was updated
20 minutes ago.
20 minutes ago, yeah.
So there you go. There it is, and now we just need to get the rest sorted.
Don't forget, you've also got, you can go into FMC and go to press menu.
Oh yes, and you can search it there as well. Yeah. Okay, but our focus is obviously on the website. So
yeah. I'm just saying that there's
you can do
way
that.
of doing things and getting the.
Absolutely. VNAV forecast, and it's /1017, because that's very important. The rest is important, but not as important as that one. All right. Okay. So we got that. Let's go back.
Presumably, you can go to your the page in the VA and go to Active Sky. Does it show you a descent winds, Nico, on that?
It's very limited because there's only one waypoint actually in this whole flight.
Sorry, it's a feature I'm not familiar with yet.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, I've got 520, I've got the intercept. Okay, go around, altitude is 3000. Don't see anything else. Okay, Mr. Protocom failure. No, not interested. Alright, so and we also said we want to do RNP 0.1, so we need to go to page 4 and update the RNP requirement. There we go, so it will be a little bit more precise for us. What else do we need? We've got the final approach set already. I think that's about it. Amazing. And we need to make sure we do not have an ILS in our nav radios. That's fine. In the MMRs. Okay. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. I'm feeling much more confident with every passing moment.
I have a weird issue, and I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
So I did a route, did the flight planning and everything, and over in the ACARS, my bid is not showing up.
Your what, sorry, is not showing up?
The bid for the flight isn't showing up in the ACARS.
Did you click on the bid button?
Sure did.
Okay, because mine did. Can you share your screen maybe so we can see?
Yeah, I can. Just a sec.
You've actually got bids on, if you go to the operations bids, make certain it's there. Right, go down.
One down? Yeah, that one.
That one. Now look on the bottom right.
Is that GCTS to LEPL? Is that not your bid?
It is not. It's supposed
Okay.
to be GCTS to TNCM.
Okay,
Right.
click on bids then. You need to remove the GCTS and TNCM there on the left, please. Okay, click bids.
I would suggest that you haven't got a bid on the web page.
Go back to the web page. Let's see that.
As soon as I remember how to switch to that screen.
Go operations, bids. What's that? Well, I can't read that one. What's that one saying?
Yeah, it's right. It says from GCTS to TNCM.
Okay.
Okay, close down your ACARS and just reopen the ACARS. I don't know if you did this after the fact or before the time that you opened the ACARS.
I have done that, and when I reopened it, it still showed the same GCTS to LEBL and not TNCM.
Okay, then.
But I will do it.
Okay, then the only thing I can think of is to click on add the bid and remove the bid, and just do the bid over.
That might be what I'll have to do.
Yeah, there on the right hand side, that red button. To add and remove is the same button. On the right hand side at the top. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
there.
I was checking the
Cool.
ACARS again just to be sure.
Okay.
The only other one, Nico, I can think of is the documents file for the link between the ACARS and the website.
Yeah, no, that shouldn't be a problem. The reason we delete that one sometimes is because the ACARS crashes, and these ACARS hasn't crashed.
Yeah, I agree. Have you created the? That's it. Yeah. Create. Have you generated it yet at the bottom?
Sorry, what?
You go to the bottom once you've got all your data there. Okay, it's all there. Okay. Right, can you go back to your A cars again?
Yep.
Click on bits at the bottom. That's not the one you were trying to do then, just now. DC.
No, no. Just close your A course and reopen it quick.
There's a link somewhere lost there.
Yeah. Check his API if he's using the correct API key from his account.
Yeah. Can you go back to the website?
Yep.
I've forgotten where you post in settings.
In his profile. In his profile, Mac.
Yeah. Go to profile. No, the right. If you go to your right-hand side at the very top of the web page, go to the top of the web page there. Right, click on there, right, and then click on profile. Go to the very bottom, and you should have that API key.
Yeah.
If you show it and copy it, obviously you may or not want to do that, showing it to us online, and that has to
Yeah.
let me go into the A cards.
Now just go check that it's the same API key that you've got in the A course, because that's the way that pieces of software are linked to each other.
Okay, I will stop sharing my screen and then I'll try that and see what happens.
Okay.
Okay, that fixed it.
Hallelujah.
It was a different one for whatever reason. Maybe I just inputted it wrong or something last time.
Mm-hmm.
Guys?
Well, I'm glad you found it. Thank you. Thanks for playing with.
2 seconds, Nico. Can you go back to your live map sometime?
My live map,
Yeah, you can.
if I can find it.
Or if you're getting too low and you're busy, forget
No,
it.
no, it's fine, it's fine. Coming up. There you go, showing on screen.
Click on the blue thing at the bottom of the map. Click on your plane.
Yes,
Click on the tick 671 blue.
I did.
Your waypoint, that's the route you've been flying. Look.
Yeah, very nice. Mac, this brings me back to that whole story we've been talking about training. You know, if we tell somebody to go fly a route, we can check that he really did it. And we
Yeah.
can look at the ACARS information that will come up at the end. Oh, this is going to be fun. This is really a step in the right direction. Wow. Yeah, no, this is going to be fun.
Anyway, get back on flying, sir.
Yeah.
Approaching transition.
Check the different color in the clouds, Mac.
Yeah, very nice. That looks nice.
He's a flippin' nice.
Mm.
Bio
Transition
user
level.
sensitive mouse.
I really am looking forward to the weekend.
Well, Annie, it's almost over, so we're talking next weekend, I suppose. It'll be cool to be there again. I see you can click on any of the aircraft, then go into that same facility.
Oh yeah.
Ah, that's cool. I see the doctor is flying, eh? He's doing it again. Ah, that's so cool. This is really nice. Now, the more I look at this, the more I put my hands together. I'm gobsmacked. This is really so cool.
Thousand to level off.
1,000 to go.
Are you still with us, Paul?
Yes, sir.
You're very, very quiet. I still think you should accept an awful lot of the praise. You should acknowledge it.
Well, you're very kind. Yeah, I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you guys. I can honestly say if it went for you two guys and Mako and Disposable Hero, this wouldn't have happened. This is all on you. You did very well.
Don't forget your input into it. You've we'd spent 9 hours uploading it all yesterday. You've investigated a lot of the routes, Nico. You
I
put
know,
your
Mac,
effort
but I
in.
can't blow my own trumpet, man. It feels bad. It
Well, I'm
feels.
going to blow it for you then. I think Paul would support that as well, wouldn't you, Paul?
Excellent. Thank you, gentlemen.
We mustn't forget John. John has done an awful lot of inputting. Nico's put route things in, and John's been working in the background, actually updating
Flaps
and
5
finding
set.
out the official routes and everything we've implemented. He's
Well,
done
that's
his
why we
spare hours as well.
made the about page. You guys can go have a look there and see. I know I made a boo boo here. Gonna try see if I can recover. Otherwise, I'm gonna go around.
Terrain. Think rate. Think rate. Think rate. Think rate.
I was literally asleep here now.
Think rate.
Taxi lights on.
Think rate. Think rate. Think rate. Think rate. Think rate.
Approach 400.
Unstable. Unstable.
Yeah. No, we're
Minimum.
gonna go around. This ain't gonna work for us. Now you see it, and then now you don't. We ain't gonna go miss.
I've done the exact same thing there.
Yeah, no, that was a botched approach. Completely bad.
Well, we see a little bit more of the scenery in the island.
Yeah. This is the best scenery for this island. I'm so glad those French guys made this.
Runway
1,000
turn
to go.
off, lights off. 1,000 to
There's
level off.
supposedly a really good
Taxi
freeware
lights off.
one out there for it.
Yeah, this is the one probably you're thinking of. There are a lot of versions of it, but there is not a single one that gives you what this one does. This is next level. It is truly stunning. Need to find my balance. I'm not going to do the whole go around procedure. I'm literally just turning around, flying it more manually than anything else. See, if you look at this scenery, there aren't many that actually include that pier over there, because that, in most of the freeway sceneries, is just flat. There's no pillars, nothing. And this one is really well done. But if you follow the link below the video and you actually want to install this, you've got to be very diligent. There are one or two cheap tricks that's going to catch you. It took me 3 days to figure the scenery out. I just couldn't get it working. It was giving me a hell of a pain. And then all of a sudden I realized that it's very subtle keywords that they use to tell you when to do what and what to do. And if you don't actually do it exactly right, you're not going to get the scenery to work. It just won't. That was kind of fun trying to figure that out. That'll teach me to sit and check the VA website when I'm supposed to descend and fly a plane.
1,000 to go.
Flaps 15 set.
Thousand to go.
Flaps 30 set.
1,000 feet stabilized, Mr. Burke.
Taxi lights on.
Terrain. Terrain. Pull up. Terrain. Terrain. Pull up.
Do not worry, we are not that close.
400.
Approaching 0, 5.
Approaching minimums.
Minimum.
Enjoy, Papino.
300. 200. 140. 30. 20. 10.
Speed brake up. Reverse unlocked. Auto brake in use. knots.
Phew. Okay,
Yeah.
exciting stuff, huh?
Brilliant landing. Nice one, sir.
After landing procedure.
After landing procedure.
Welcome to Madeira, guys.
Beautiful landing as usual.
Thank you so much. The only issue I have right now is now that STKP is not running, I don't have any indication of a landing rate at all. I'll see in the PyRep once it's done.
After landing
Yeah,
procedure completed.
I couldn't care less, I must be honest, but some people do keep score. Thanks, Flightex and Papino.
When you go back to your live map again, Nico, you want to see your go around, it's actually quite good.
I'll go check it. Ja. Maar ik kan niet nou nie. Oh, okay. Give me a second, guys.
Flaps up. And set.
Let me taxi while she's looking for a measuring tape. My daughter just wants a measuring tape now. Right now. Yeah, listen to her. Come say hello to everybody. Please? Yes. Not gonna happen. You know,
I think fair exchange, I think she doesn't get a measuring tape until she says hello and thank you.
yes, the guys on stream says you can't get the measuring tape until you've said hello to them. She says you'll look for it on her own. Yeah. Give me a second. Once I've parked and the stream is up, give me 2 minutes, please. Then we'll sort you out. Just give me 2 minutes. Aye. Shutdown procedure.
Shutdown procedure. Shutdown procedure completed.
Guys, I'm almost done. Okay, bye. Alright, okay, alright, daddy chores are done. Right, so now we want to end the flight. There's the ACARS. We're going to click on end flight.
Just before you do that, go and quick check your map. Just if you don't mind. And see your circle to land bits in this. I thought it was pretty good, Nico.
Ah, there you go. Yeah, not bad at all. Oh, there it gives the landing rate, 261.83. Ah, not too bad. Not too bad, not too shabby. Right, okay, so file the flight. Thank you so much. So now we go to the dashboard. It says that I am in LPMA. So I'm gonna have to take the jump seat to VHHH when I do the tour again. That's fine, that's 100% fine, so at least we can move around and do what we need to do. Okay.
Go to your PI reps. Operations PI reps.
There you go. And it's the same page. Yeah.
Click on there. Yeah.
Yeah. That's got everything we need. You know, I started this stream obviously very excited. Then I got a bit frustrated because now I don't find everything and anything that I want at the time or the place and so on. Then I started finding my feet and all. I think it's like Paul said earlier, I'm going to have to do 2 or 3 flights to really get into it, and I want to encourage any of you guys on the stream and on Discord, yeah, if you're in the same position, you know, now's the time to just fight through the first 3 flights, and I can imagine it will be much better afterwards.
If you go down, you can see your costs and everything on there.
Yeah, I've got it. I'm looking at it now. It's really well done. So there is the cargo. Remember, we fixed that in the beginning. And there's the passenger count. There you have your transactions. Wow. Well, we made 19,395 virtual dollars. That's not bad. I am thoroughly impressed. It's going to take me 2 or 3 flights to just ease into it. But I'm excited again. I'm really, really excited. This really looks cool. There's the SimBrief OFP. So it actually freaking saves that as well, or not? Looks like it. Very cool. Wow. Yeah, no, I'm impressed. I am
think that
impressed.
may go as once you log a new flight.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, it's possible.
It doesn't actually save it on the website.
Okay. Well, we've got what we need. We don't need to have the actual pirate OFP, sorry. Ha! Alright. I can live with this. This is awesome. This is really cool. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Done. First flight done and dusted. We'll do another one this evening. Just be warned, fair warned up front, it's going to be much of a repeat of what happened today. In this flight, it will probably look and feel and sound more polished because I've now got this experience. So you guys, it's up to you if you want to join us again. I'm not sure, it could be boring, but we have to get something on record that we can actually keep and point people to and say, well, that's how it works, kind of a thing. And if we need to, we'll polish it and so on until we have something concrete we can put on that website, and then we'll have a decent video for you guys. That's it.
Do you know what time that might be, Nico?
I'm thinking about 1600 Zulu. Let's go to the YouTube. I did actually book it already on YouTube, and as far as I know, it's 1600 Zulu. Let's have a look. I need to exit out of here. Yeah, 6 p.m. my time. It's 1600 Zulu. We'll do the next one and we'll see what happens. Okay, cool. Let's call it a day. Ladies and gents, we'll talk later if possible. Otherwise, we'll see you in the week on Twitch or YouTube, whichever one works best. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you're going to really enjoy flying for this VA and using this new facilities that's in place. And thanks again for Mako, Disposable, Hero, Paul, and McTrying that really got it to this point. Thank you so much, guys.